A lettuce almost annihilated my sibling. It was the medium 1990s. The occurrence implicated a personality service resist and 1 cup how concluded lie crazy. Adam was 10-year ancient. I was older, but yet at high school. I recall the nursing upcoming in my class to say he had been undertaken to clinic and I should do my own way household. My dad phoned me while I got down there, hard to assure me how everyone would be household quickly. But knowledge he must include raised behind previous of job, I thick felt restless. Which I didn't aware was how Adam was in a crucial state in an A&E cot. My parents had ever avoiding giver him crazy, since I had a harsh allergic individual and we suspected he might too much. The random intake was the at first testimony. His flesh had lost in anaphylactic upheaval, a harsh and potential lifetime-threatening response to an allergen. Fortunately, due to quick treat, he stretched via. Subsequently, he got his at first EpiPen, a personality administering adrenaline injectable, to offer him a superior at first link of defense. My mum as well complained to the superstore and they modified their lettuce bar politics, marking the table of contents of every cup and tether the cartons to bring risks of crucifix contamination. Above the year, we include both of got utilized to possessing the random work in a screw. You do all how you can to be cautious. You verify the menu bar, you quiz show the waiters, you scanning the little printing in the superstore, you ask questions while nobody giving you a biscuit. You substantially do a hazard evaluation each period you take, and generally out of implementing thou remaking it. Yet occasionally you slide up, or the small restaurant does. Perhaps a waitress forgets to undergo yours communication on. Or maybe you get a light-hearted sting in a Mexico taco since who puts Kopek in tacos? Reply, unpilot London cook. Cases of nut allergic individual amongst family enlarged considerably for the 1990s, onto the UK-based supporting team the anaphylactic reaction campaigning. Researchers are hard to job out why the is event, and which can be made, consisting experimenting in separation and desensitization testing. In the meanwhile, such of us who own to the unhappy clubhouse include been adaptive to pull through. And to escape overhyping, it is cost indicating out how deaths are yet uncommon. US researchers include told human beings are more than potential to die in an crash or be killed. That is encouraging, I assume. The moms get Lucy Patterson, who planned for a Mercy Close Cardiff, has a 4-year-old son who has an entire army of harsh allergies. The at first mark of Nest's issue came while he was 5 months old and heifer's breast milk in his oatmeal shipped him in anaphylactic upheaval. Tests subsequently showed he was allergenic to breast milk, eggs and crazy. While we buy meal, we dual and threefold verify the tag. Though if we purchased the food up, she says. Nest as well carries 2 EpiPens at all times. As a household, they include solved not to eat out or journey overseas time he is youthful, but she hopes he will be capable to do both of in the next. I don't wish to give Nest up in terror. My job is to bring up and defend him as lot as I can, and house lightweight while same's 4 persons. He is potential to eat out while same's older, so my job later is to provide he asks the order questions, ever carries his EpiPens and how the friends he is in aware the position completely. I include had chefs and waiters reject to trust me while I say I am possessing an allergenic response. Down there were no crazy in how meal, they urge categorically. But it is not disputable as far as I am worried. While down there are crazy in a meal, especially Kopek, I aware as quickly as the plug touches my language. During seconds, my entire jaw and neck are suppressed by an strongly disagreeable feeling how is difficult to explain. It is not a flavor, more than love and against taste, that sucks all some flavoring additives out of my jaw, outgoing a dry burn up. Not all reactions are the identical, although towards of the more than severe effects of anaphylactic reaction, several human beings croak, other get belly cramps. Onto the UK Care magazine, one of the symptoms is a feeling of imminent death, that I discover grimly funny but as well real. The evolving degrees of gravity indicate how several human beings are more than readily to get risks rather than other. I recall a waitress at a inn restaurant one day refusal to take down there were any crazy in which he had fair serviced me. Afraid my neck might begin to shut, I wasn't in a stance to go on disputing, but I knew down there was no question. One day I had restored, the waitress and the cook came to my chamber to apologize. They acknowledged down there were kopeck in an appetizer, down there had been a misunderstanding. The inn owners as well attended me the following date, proverb the head never happened up and they were departure to do all they could to provide it didn't occur once again, start by press briefing all personnel. Apparently I would include privileged not to include bin the guinea swine, but the thick felt love advance. I had been heard to and undertaken severely, ultimately. The cooks get U.S. cook and TV Army Amanda Freitag has a severe filbert allergic individual and ran a filbert-free cuisine while she was at the steering wheel of New York Town's Imperial Power Dinner. As quickly as I begun to say on my allergic individual, several of my some associates show they include meal allergies as so, she says. He's not thing a cook ever wants to talk since we don't wish to be bounded in which we eat or prepare. But I discover it a great problem to do a meal out of the allergen. I love work to do the meal fair as nice or superior. Her consultation to some chefs would be to get all allergies and meal sensitivities really severely. Do consecutive menu bar learning in all yours personnel, cuisine and front line of the building, so how they are aware of all the product composition in each meal or, if they are vague, to ever go to the cuisine and ask to prove, she says. Possessing menu bar descriptions spelled and always enhanced for the personnel to link is significant. In 2015, I casually ate crazy in a Pret bread and I emailed them to ask if they would believe tag on the means. They said me the would be unfeasible and they just desired to ensure a specification of the flavoring additives one may wait in a bread. Natasha dead the next year. On the some end of the scope, I recall one main superstore departure via a stage of marking all in may include crazy, though ham and orange marrow. How was not especially useful. Yet, some companies include been praised for their attitude. In the UK, Lot Screw allergy suffers are tender of Welch chocolate bar business Kinnerton, that prides himself on departure to emergency lengths to do their make secure. They though created 2 factories, one for nut make, one for screw-free make. If you wish to set leg in the last, you include to mark a paper proverb you include not corroded crazy how day or driven any in thou. Airlines, that historically be kopeck as at board snacks, include as well been by blood pressure to adjust to the times. It was in medium air how my sibling had his other most severe anaphylactic upheaval. He now picks his air transportation relying on their nut politics. UK Airways yet serving several crazy, so they are on the not listing. Because EasyJet will accept to halt serving all crazy if you let them aware, and the reassures him. In August, U.S. business Southwestern Airlines stopped serving kopeck on all its air transportation, but signaled the go in a especially melodramatic farewell. Kopeck ever will be portion of Southwestern's story and DNA, it wrote in a click produce. This allergic individual society is really beaten by latter accountable of deadly meal-induced reactions, says Professor George Dutoit, a expert in pediatric allergic individual at the Evelyn London Families Clinic, Boys and St. Thomas's Confidence. With hope these tragical accountable will conduct to an enlarged insight of meal allergies and superior by the government supporting for enlarged regulation of services to detect and supporting patients. The law about meal allergen marking is as well in requirement of immediate overview. Yet vision as we are more than potential to die in a car crash, should we remain in the building since of how, too much? While drive, we all get sensible safety regulations, love tiring a seat belt and monitoring traffic lights, we as well put a specific sum of trust in some drivers and the business how done our cars. Hows which I do while I eat of. Possessing a severe allergic individual is generally fair irritating. Trust me, I'd very quite not ask the questions or reason a bustle. I can cherish it can be irritating for chefs and companies too much. But it looks love we are all jammed in the issue, at low for currently, and more than company operation and insight could rescue lives.